You know, you ever have a puzzle and you're trying to figure it out and it's really hard to figure out? Maybe the puzzle defeats you, or maybe you have to work on it for ages before you figure it out, or maybe somebody comes along and tells you the solution to the puzzle. Regardless, once you know the solution to the puzzle is easy, right? Okay, so women as a sex are a puzzle. And once you have figured them out, it's easy. And there's only one secret to them. It's understanding what they want you to provide them with. Once you have figured out what they want, they're easy. They are a solved puzzle. And what women want, what they want a man to provide them with, are essentially three things. Number one, they want to feel psychologically secure. Number two, they want to feel physically protected. And number three, they want to feel materially provided for. These are the three things that they want, and you provide them with these three things and you can get any woman in the world, and you can hold on to any woman in the world, okay? These are the three things, and they are simple to provide. Now let me explain each of them in turn. When I say that women want to feel psychologically secure, what does that mean? It means essentially that they want to be led. They want to feel that somebody is leading them and that they can confidently follow along. They don't have to think too much. They don't have to ask many questions. And any questions that they do have will be answered immediately, confidently, without any hesitation, without any, what do I do? None of that stuff, see? Because women say that they want a man who is psychologically open, you know, they want like a metrosexual, right? But they don't. They just say that they do. Because it's sort of like their idealized version of who they are, that they want to feel that they are psychologically communing with a man. But they don't actually want that, all right? It's sort of like this. You say to yourself, oh, you know, I want to work out and eat healthy. And instead, what do? You sit in front of the TV, scratching your balls and eating Fritos, right? Same thing. Women say that they want a certain kind of man who is psychologically open and who, you know, listens to them and they listen to him and blah, 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 and feelings and all that shit. When the rubber meets the road, no woman wants that. She claims that she does. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want that at all. All right? Just as you claim to want to go to the gym every day and work out and eat healthy, but you don't do it, same thing. Same thing, all right? Women want to feel psychologically secure. That is, they want a man who will be confident to the point of arrogance and who will say, we are going in this direction. This is the direction we're going and you're going to go with me. That's what they want to feel. Because most women, well, most people, frankly, most women don't know what they want. They need a man to tell them what they want. And then they will follow along, because most women are followers. They are natural followers. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, what about, you know, these career women and shit like that? Yeah. You get those women, those career women, those go-getter women, you get them in a nice house with a few kids, and within a year, they're going to be doing whatever the hell the husband wants, so long as the husband has some balls, okay? Now, a lot of guys think that to have balls, they have to be like this asshole. No, you don't have to be an asshole. You just have to be confident and decisive. And most important of all, to give women this psychological security that they need, you have to be able to say, look, we're going to do it my way, and if you don't like it, you can leave. You have to be able to say that. You say that, and the woman is going to bitch and moan and complain and cry, and in the end, she will do what you want. Because what women fear above all else is to be left alone. Not physically left alone. No. And sometimes, in point of fact, they need to be left alone. Sometimes they're just, you know, you just leave them alone and just go on your way and do your own thing. But I mean, like, psychologically left alone. All right, emotionally left alone. That is the thing that they most fear. You provide them with psychological security, they're going to do whatever you want, but you need the other two things. Now, the other thing is physical protection. That's the second one. The second of this triptych that you need to provide. Now, in our current society, we don't actually have much of a need to demonstrate physical competence. But here's a trick I've learned, all right? And this is hard experience. This is me breaking the puzzle over a couple of decades and finally figuring it out. Weirdly, sexual prowess is a good stand-in for the ability to physically protect a woman. A woman will interpret it that way. If you fuck her good, she will assume that you can physically protect her. It's just the way it is, you know. I don't make up the rules. I just, you know, go with what's given to me. You see what I mean? Insofar as giving a girl a good fuck, she will feel that you are giving her physical protection. Because, you know, look at our society around you. If you get into a fist fight with somebody, you're going to be arrested, right? More likely than not. You get into a fist fight, you wield some sort of weapon or something like that, you demonstrate some sort of physical prowess over other members of our current society, and you're going to have a lot of penalties, because in our current society, the state has a monopoly on violence by way of the police. And that's perfectly fine. We've all agreed that this is perfectly fine and reasonable. But see, over the millennia, over these millions of years, women have developed to favor those who can grant them physical protection for the obvious reason that if a man cannot provide a woman with physical protection, their child will likely die. You know, because some puma ate the kid, or you know, some other man came along and killed the kid and raped the woman, or who knows what, okay? But in our current society, since we don't have that, sexual ability is a good proxy. You fuck a girl senseless, and she will grant you that. She will believe that you can physically protect her. I don't know why it's so, but it is. Okay, it's weird. All right? And I know this because of some very bizarre experience I once had. I once became sort of like the father confessor to this football player. Big guy. Big guy. Okay? I mean, this guy was huge. He was on the varsity of my college football team. And he was, for some reason, we became friends. And what happened was that in one of those dark nights of the soul, he told me the truth that he couldn't get it up. This was back in the mid-90s. And the reason, of course, I realized retrospectively, is that he was taking so many goddamn steroids in order to bulk up and be strong enough for the team. You know, moron. Right, that clearly the steroids were affecting his sexual ability, and his girlfriend just couldn't stomach him. She felt that he was sort of like a, you know, because that's the way things are now. Okay, so you fuck a girl senseless, and you know you're gonna be providing that second leg, that second thing that women want. Okay, now. Being able to materially provide for a woman. Now, a lot of men are dumb, and they say, oh, she's just a gold digger. No. Think from a practical perspective. Because when men say that a woman is a gold digger, on the one hand, it's absolutely true. All women are gold diggers, by definition, but it serves a practical evolutionary need. You see? No woman wants to hitch her wagon to some guy who can't provide with the material necessities in order to have a home and children, which makes complete sense. I mean, come on, right? You don't want, I mean, if you're a woman, you don't want to marry some loser who can't bring in the money in order to have the kids and have a nice house where to raise the kids and then send the kids to private school, right? So, of course, all women are gold diggers. In the obvious sense, but there is a reason for it. Also, you have to understand what kind of gold digging is going on. You see, a lot of these women, right, they naturally will spend the money on shit for the kids. It's the ones who spend it on themselves when they do have kids. Those are the ones who are real gold diggers. Those are the ones you don't want to be around, right? But a woman who you give her $1,000 and she goes and blows 900 of those dollars on stuff for the kids, and she saves up 100 so that eventually she'll get something for herself. Well, she is not a gold digger. She is a woman who knows her priorities, okay? Now, those men who are saying that women who are interested in whether a man can provide for them materially, well, they're just being practical. And those men who get all butthurt about it are just being, you know, pussies, or more likely than not, they don't have the ability to materially provide for women. All right? And that's what's going on. They're all butthurt about it. Now, let's go back to the first reason, the providing psychological assurance. All right? You see, one thing you have to understand that's very, very important. See, you never, ever, ever show weakness to a woman. Okay? I said before that women are like dogs. They are like dogs. If you show weakness to a dog, that dog is going to bite you. You never show weakness to a woman, ever, under any set of circumstances. Maybe, you know, like, you know, your mother or your father dies, or your best friend dies in a car accident, and then you cry over that. That, yes, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. All right? But asking a woman, telling a woman that you're not sure what to do, because it's the fashion nowadays. It's the fashion to be like, to pretend or actually be insecure and unsure. You know, oh, I don't know. What do you think? Should we do this or should we do that? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Oh, it's so complicated. Like a fucking pussy, like a fucking gay faggot who can't figure out what to wear in the fucking morning. Yeah, I mean, sorry. And to the homosexuals watching, you know, I'm me. I could care less what you think. But my point, see, no woman wants a dithering man. She wants a man who is confident. He doesn't have to be like this big bull of a guy. Like I was telling you about that football player. That football player was a big bull of a guy, a huge motherfucker. He was about 3 times me easily, right? He could have snapped my neck in about 5 seconds, right? I mean, just like the way you'd snap a twig or something like that, a toothpick, right? The guy couldn't hold on to his woman. She cheated on him because he couldn't get it up, and he kept feeling insecure and lacking in confidence around her. He tried pleading with her. Don't ever plead with a woman, ever. You never plead with a woman. You simply say, this is what we're doing. You don't do it like an asshole all the time in every fucking little thing, okay? She asks you, what do you want to eat? You say, I don't care. Whatever you want to eat. You say it politely, nicely, but you know, don't try to impose your will on everything, just the important things. And make it clear that it's your way or the highway. You have to be able to tell a woman that if she doesn't like the regime that she is going to be living under as your woman, that she is free to leave whenever she wants to. That woman will never leave you. If she tests you, which she will, it's perfectly natural, it's part of women's psychology, that they will test their boundaries with you. If you make it clear that she can leave and that you can live without her, she'll stay. That psychological assurance, that feeling that you are a rock, psychologically speaking, women need this, they crave it. And the funny thing is that, see, because of our current society that denigrates strong-willed men, that looks down on them and you know, tries to oblige them to be more like thoughtful and caring and feeling and all this bullshit, right? See, the men who resist this social pull, this current fashion, they get most of the women. They fuck all the women that they want. Why? Because that's what women want. See? That's what they want. They want a rock. You know, Eastern European women, they say outright, they want a man who is made of stone. They will tell you to your face. They don't want a dithering little blubbery, you know, piece of shit. They want a man of stone. Give them that. A lot of men confuse that with arrogance, but there's a fine line between arrogance and self-confidence. I always say, you know, that quote of those jazz musicians that, you know, it's not arrogance if you can back it up. Absolutely right. Arrogance without true ability, without true force of personality is just bullshit, and women will sniff it out. All right? So just like dogs, just like I said before about dogs, about being firm with dogs, you know, never showing any fear, same thing. Okay, you have to be very firm. Now, insofar as providing physical protection and how that proxy is how you fuck them and fuck them good. Okay, I know that's kind of wild. You know, I know that you listen to that and that sounds kind of like almost fucking insane. The thing is, it's the truth. Women, without going into the details, You fuck a woman really well. I mean, you fuck them in a way that they will remember it, that they are going to be walking around bow-legged for a couple of days. And yeah, and what does this mean? You know, fuck them good. It means ignoring what they want and simply taking what you want, sexually speaking. Now, I'm not advocating rape or anything like that. I am simply saying that you simply take from a woman what you want, sexually speaking, and make no apologies for it. That's what they want. See? They want a man who is completely confident and self-assured and who simply takes what he wants. Now, of course, when I was a young kid, I didn't believe in this shit. Okay? I came to understand women from a different direction. I came from the point of view of humor, of being funny. And that's how I got girls. Believe it or not, I used to be very funny. But the thing is, see, as I've grown older, and I just have, you know, more mileage, I just realize how it is, what it is going on. See? That physical protection part is very, very key. It is surprisingly important. That sense that a woman gets that a man can physically overwhelm them. They want that. Read Gone with the Wind. Margaret Mitchell wrote that book, and there's a scene where Rhett Butler ravishes Scarlett O'Hara. And she was angry and blah, 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 but the next morning she was happy as a clam, right? It's the truth. Women need a good fuck, and if you can't provide them with a good fuck, they will find a man who can, all right? Just as they cannot stand a man who is psychologically insecure, who is like quicksand, psychologically speaking. They want a man of stone. Well, they want a cock made of stone, and they want that cock to fuck them senseless. And if you don't give it to them, they will find somebody else. Now, regarding the third issue, material comfort, not material comfort, provide for them materially speaking, right? Now, women need this, as I said, in order to provide for a family, to provide the nest, the home, for the children. They need that. They don't need a lot, okay? They don't need a lot of money. They don't even need you to have like a whole big chunk of the money. They just need to feel that you're going to have a steady income, that things are going to be steady, or that, you know, the material sacrifices that are happening now are going to have a very, very big payoff in the future, and you have explained clearly to them how this is. Explained it, but without giving them the reins, as it were. See, you explain what you're doing, but you don't tell them, you know, what should I do? You ask them what you're supposed to do, and, you know, you've lost the battle. See, you explain how maybe right now you're broke because you're a student or you're just starting out in your career, what have you, but in 5 years, in maybe 10 years, you're going to be king shit of Turd Mountain. They're going to go for that. They're going to like it. See, now, here's the thing. Everything that women do in their courtship of a man is to test for these three qualities that you can provide them. Okay? The famous shit tests. Shit tests are compliance tests. What are compliance tests? Compliance tests are tests carried out to make sure that a specific quality is present. Sometimes it is easier to figure out if the quality is absent than to figure out if it's present. All right? But a compliance test is to check for these qualities. Most women, when they meet a guy, will shit test a guy, create compliance tests for the guy, and the guy has to pass them. Now, most of the time, you pass a compliance test by ignoring it or by undermining it. That shows that you have the ability to care for a woman. All right? I mean, I know it sounds all very weird, but see, the problem is that we are, compared to other mammals, we have a lot of intelligence, and this intelligence creates a lot of social barriers and obstacles to mating with the opposite sex, because that's what we're doing here. We're talking about mating with members of the opposite sex. Why do you want to mate with a member of the opposite sex? You know, in order to have children, all right? And here's something that you have to understand too about yourself that few men seem to understand, especially when they're young. What makes a man happy is not to be dating 50 girls and you know, going from bed to bed. That doesn't make a guy happy. You know what makes a guy happy? Having a woman who provides him with a good meal, keeps his shirts ironed and the house tidy, and takes care of the kids while he goes off and gets the money. That's what a man really wants. That's what makes him truly happy. See? That's your ultimate goal at the end of the day. But you have to understand what women want. See? You have to understand what women want and what they are looking for, and how everything depends on these three qualities. You provide them with these three things and you're set. Remember, psychological security, physical protection, and provide for them materially. Those three things and you're set with any woman. Okay? Okay, get going.